Hi, my name is Eric Lunn. I'm a Senior Product Training Specialist with the San Francisco Region Toyota office. One of the interesting things about the Mirai is the fact that from an emissions standpoint, it is really ultimately a zero-emission vehicle. There are no, so to speak, greenhouse gases coming out of this vehicle. The only emission it has coming out of the back of the vehicle is it does release a certain amount of water. Through the process of combining hydrogen and oxygen, we generate water and electricity. That electricity then is used to drive the electric motors directly, moving us down the road. There is a battery on board, but that battery is more or less utilized as a buffer. And it's to absorb energy on deceleration, to store it from the regenerative braking. Also on those occasions when you need that extra squirt of energy to get you going, that battery can feed power in on top of the fuel cell. Range on the vehicle is 312 miles. And one of the cool things about that is that range doesn't have a long refuel time. It's approximately 5 minutes to refuel the vehicle. You get in that range, so that reduces the range anxiety that you have compared to electric vehicles that have a significantly longer charge time in between drives. Cost on the vehicle for the 2016 Mirai is right around $58,000. Now, initially that may seem kind of high, but there are quite a few incentives that come along with that. One of those incentives, we basically give you free fuel for 3 years, and that's about a $15,000 value in itself. Also, there are state and federal incentives, but we don't get into a lot of details there because it varies from county to county. We recommend you talk to your tax preparers, those types of things. Also included is Toyota Care, which is free maintenance, roadside assistance, and all those types of things for you on the Mirai, as well as, and this is to me one of the big bonuses for living in the Bay Area, carpool stickers will be available for this vehicle. It will get and qualify for the white carpool stickers, which are pretty much unlimited. Moving to the interior of the vehicle, at first glance, you'll notice this is very similar to a Prius. This is not anything really out there. There's a lot of similarities to the Prius from the standpoint of layout, the shifter, smart key, those types of things. But when you get into the vehicle, there are some subtle differences from Prius. It is a 4-seat vehicle. It's a comfortable 4-seat that seats a family of 4 really nicely. It's not like you're crammed in there. Also, it is a sedan, whereas Prius is a liftback. So there's a few subtle differences there. Other than that, inside the vehicle, really the only significant difference that a customer might notice is this little button right here that says H2O. The purpose of that button is if you're in an extremely cold environment, before you park the vehicle, you push that button and it purges any of the water that is generated from driving. Or if you're pulling into your garage, you can push that button and purge it before you drive in so you don't have water in your garage. Or as some of my friends like to kid around about, you can back up over your lawn in California, push the button and get a little bit of water for your lawn. One of the questions that quite often I get asked is, why does Toyota believe fuel cells are the future? Well, not only are they the future, but they're today because they're here right now. But one of the reasons that Toyota believes in fuel cells is we believe that customers are just not comfortable with giving up range, quick refuel times, those types of things. And the downside to EV vehicles is battery technology. It takes time to charge. Customers have to find the correct charging station, those types of things, and you have that long delay time. Whereas with a fuel cell vehicle, customer gets in, they drive, they start to run low on fuel, they pull into a station, within 5 minutes they can refuel. We also like the fact that the emissions are zero. The only thing that comes out of the vehicle is water. Add to that the direction everybody's going, we're seeing a move towards zero emissions. And the American psyche is such that we want zero emissions, but we want to be able to just get in and drive and not have to worry about range. So range anxiety becomes a significant issue. Refueling Mirai is actually a fairly simple process. Push the button under the dash, come over, open up the fuel door. You take your small cap off, place that right there. Take your nozzle, plug it into the actual fitting, start your pump going, sit back and wait. Within about 5 minutes, you're away and ready to go. Now, what's important is when you get done fueling is don't just shut the door. One, we block you from doing that, but it's important that this cap be placed back on there. The vehicle will not start with this cap removed. Also too, when you're at the station, you'll notice this little white area here is actually an infrared data link that communicates from the vehicle to the station to give it information regarding temperature, those types of things. Without this cap on or this door shut, Mirai does not move. So it's really important that you close this stuff up before you go. The president of our company has also said too, when he's asked why, we don't think this is going to be successful, he has one word to say to people, and that's Prius. 15 years ago, when we introduced the first hybrid vehicle from Toyota, everybody told us we don't need that vehicle. Now just about every manufacturer in the industry has a hybrid vehicle. So it's kind of telling of the direction and the forethought that our company has.